Hi, kung hindi ka estudyante sa ethics, or if you're not under my class in ethics, what are you doing here? Okay, anyway, so gusto mo i-slay yung midterms. Tatlo lang yung kailangan mo tandaan. Basically, ang laman lang nating midterms ay yung virtue ethical doctrines ng tatlong sinaunang philosophers, Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle, and then deontology, and then utilitarianism. Basically, yun lang yung tandaan mo doon. So, unahin natin si Socrates, right? Kasi nga siya yung pinakauna. Basically, the philosopher na meron ever since time immemorial. Socrates was the OG, the game changer. Alam mo yun? By the way, pwede mo i-2 times tong video na to kung gusto mo talagang i-clutch yung exam para tomorrow. But anyway, come on. Anyway, going back to Socrates. Socrates was the OG, right? Like I was saying. So, kumbaga, lahat ng mga ibang philosophers noon, ang pakialam nila ang pakialam nila is paano nabuo ang mundo. Wala lang siyang pakialam doon. Ang pakialam nila is bakit may moralidad ang tao, etc. etc. Ngayon, etc. Ngayon, may tinatawag na Socratic paradox, right? Essential yun. Kaya ako sinasabi to kasi nasa essay yun. So kung basahin mo yun. Ngayon, yung Socratic paradox, simple lang. Sabi kasi ni Socrates, wisest is he who knows that he does not know. Right? So ibig sabihin nun is like, kaya nga siya paradox. So what is a paradox, right? What makes a paradox a paradox? Hindi siya pwedeng mag-exist together, right? Paradoxical, ironic in a sense, right? So the Socratic paradox explains that we know what to do, right? When we are good people because we know what to, alam natin gagawin natin. Alam natin masama mag-steal, alam natin na masama ang magkaroon ng lust, murder, rape, etc. etc. But why is it that there's still so many people who are wrong or bad, right? Because we choose not to do those things. Kasi nga sabi niya, ang difference lang ng taong mabuti sa mabait is ignorance. Evil ang ignorance, knowledge is good. So, ang pinaka-worst na ng mga types of people is yung mga tao nga na alam na nila mali ginagawa nila and they're still doing it. Or like, alam yun, yung parang friend mo na hindi maka-move on sa ex niya, na bumabalik-balik pa rin siya sa ex niya kahit alam naman niyang hindi maganda na dun sa ex niya na yun. Anyway, hindi lang siya natuto. The point of Socrates is the Socratic paradox explained to us that even if we know good things, we still tend to do the bad things because we choose to be ignorant. Yun yung essay nyo sa first essay. Okay? Sa second essay, well, mamaya pa pala yun, sorry. Excited. Ngayon, si Plato naman ay estudyante ni Socrates, right? So, Plato was like this whole, like, alam mo yun, like, he's like, idol kita, even if mayaman ako, susundin kita. Ganun siya. So, Plato developed the cardinal virtues and basically gave us the ring of Gyges. Sabi niya, so yung ring of Gyges, alam niyo rin, basahin niyo yun. Importante rin yun. Big sabihin ng ring of Gyges is integrity is important. Yun yung pinaka-importante. Anong big sabihin nun? Gumawa ka ng mabuti kahit walang nakakita sa'yo. Ang pinaka-mabuting tao ay yung gumagawa ng mabuti even if walang nakakita sa kanya. Yun yung buong point ni Plato. Kasi nga, di ba si Gyges, nung naging invisible siya, naging powerful siya, naging corrupt siya. Kasi nga, walang nakakita sa kanya. And, well, power corrupts people. And people who are corrupted do evil things. Therefore, they are unethical. Basically, yun yung sinasabi ni Plato. And gumawa siya ng 4 na cardinal virtues. Virtues siya kasi nga po, it makes you a virtuous person. Ngani. So, Plato was like, remember the soul, guys? Diba may 3 parsing soul, reason, spirit, appetite. So, kapag may reason ka daw, may wisdom ka. Check na yun. Kapag may yung reason at spirit mo together, ano mangyayari? Meron kang courage. Kasi courageous ka na gawin mga bagay-bagay. And kapag yung spirit at yung appetite mo ay together naman, well, meron kang tinatawag na temperance or meron kang magtimpi. Kapag meron kang wisdom, meron kang courage, at meron kang temperance, you can have justice. Right? So, ibig sabihin nun, ang taong may wisdom, knowledgeable enough, courageous enough, and do things in moderation or being temperate, has justice. Simple lang. Diba? Simple. Now, si Aristotle, who was Aristotle? Si Aristotle ang sumunod kay Plato. Aristotle had a different idea on what to do with ethics, right? So sabi niya, actually, para maging mabuti ka lang na tao, ay employ mo lang yung tinatawag niyang virtue ethics. Napakasimple. Ibig sabihin ng virtue ethics ay, alam niyo yung parang, before ka gumawa ng something, magde-decide ka muna, right? Iisipin mo kung mabuti ba yung decision mo o hindi. Basically, ganoon lang yun. So, ibig sabihin, you don't ask, what would I do in this situation? What you would ask is, what if I were a good person, what would I do? Yun yung bomb point ni Aristotle. Tapos, naalala niyo yung cardinal virtue ni Plato, di ba may temperance. Si Aristotle gumawa siya ng rule na the golden mean. Basically, yung sinasabi ng golden mean, may mga vices, may mga bisyo, right? Yung gitna, yun yung tinatawag na virtue. What do you mean by this? Yung virtue is the sweet spot between those vices. If you do something in moderation, you are doing something virtuous. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ito siya. Vice is a lack of something or an excess of something, right? Let's talk about courage, for example. Labang courage. Ang tunay na courageous na tao ay hindi coward kasi nga lacking yun. Hindi rin naman siyang, tawag dito, reckless. Kasi nga, may mga akala nila brave sila, akala nila courageous sila, pero they're just being reckless. So, madaling salita, lahat ng ginagawa mo dapat in moderation. O, di ba parang temperance lang din ni Plato's cardinal virtue. The whole point of Aristotle is like, hey, you should do whatever you want, it's okay, but do things in moderation. It's doing the right thing at the right time under the right circumstances. Gets mo ba? Gets mo yun. Omsim? Omsim. Now, moving on to our second lesson, which is now all about deontology. It's all about Immanuel Kant. Immanuel Kant was the real deal. Dalawang kanyang categorical imperative. Yun yung pag-usapan natin. Kasi yun yung nasa second essay ninyo. Ano ba yun? Sabi niyo ng essay natin, ano yung difference ng dalawang categorical imperative ni Immanuel Kant? And this is it. Dalawa yon. Yung unang categorical imperative niya ay yung universalizability principle, which is basically trying to say, kung gusto mo gumawa ng something, isipin mo, if ginagawa ng lahat yun, acceptable ba siya? Kung hindi, it's probably unethical. Kaya nga po siya universalizability, di ba? Like, acceptable by everyone. So, if you wanna cheat, imaginein mo na lahat ng tao nag-cheat. Okay ba yun? Okay ba yun? Hindi, di ba? So, hindi siya okay. Now, under the right circumstances, even under the right circumstances, right, cheating is wrong. So, basically, wag mong gawin. Di ba? Yun lang yun. And the second categorical imperative is what we call now the formula of humanity. Huwag mo daw gamitin na mere means ang mga tao. At huwag mo silang gamitin. Di ba? Ayaw mo naman na ginagamit. O ba't ka magpapagamit sa iba? Basically, sinasabi ni Immanuel Kant sa atin, ang mundo. Di ba? Ang mga tao, may subjects, may objects. Hindi tayo pwedeng maging objects. Bakit? Because we are human beings. We don't we have not the same level with objects. We can never be objectified. Yung buong point nito is like, sabi nga dito sa formula of humanity, do not treat people as mere means because all of us are ends in ourselves. Ibig sabihin, kung ang tingin mo sa sarili mo ay, di ba, mataas, isipin mo rin na ibang tao ay ganon. So kung next time na may gusto kang bastusin ng tao, consider yourself as nabastos na rin because we are all but human beings. It's kind of the same, like autonomy. May tinatawag tayong autonomy. Right? Yun na yun. Yun yung second essay nyo, by the way. Di ba? So, an example nun is, kapag kakaroon ka ng kaibigan, wag mo lang siyang itratong kaibigan dahil kailangan mo siya or meron kang gusto sa kanya. Right? Or gusto mo lang siya kasi gusto mo yung katawan niya. Something like that. That's not the point. That's an I-it relationship. Di ba? Yun yung pinagkaiba ng I-it sa I-thou relationship. Ang I-it relationship, objectified yung tao. Yung isa sa tingin niya siya mas mataas dun sa isa. Ang I-thou relationship naman, you see yourselves as both the same. Basically, kind of like, no? And finally, dun tayo sa utilitarianism. Napakasimple ng utilitarianism. Mabuti daw kapag mas marami ang nakikinabang sa ginagawa mo. Diba? So if you do it for a greater number of people, it's probably the greater good. What does it mean? So, for example, if you would sacrifice 10 people to save 1 million people, then you're probably still doing the right thing because millions of people will live at the expense of 10 people dying. Kinda, you know, parang opposite siya ng deontology. Kasi ang deontology, sabi nga ni Immanuel Kant, is that like, walang pakialam sa consequences. Basta may ginawa kang something bad, it is bad. But, pagdating sa utilitarianism, it depends on the consequences. Right? Same? Same. Basically, ang sinasabi ng utilitarianism, dalawa siya, may act at saka may rule. Ano yung pinagkaiba ng act at saka rule utilitarianism? Yung act utilitarianism, yun na yun. Basically, sinasabi ni John Stuart Mill at ni Jeremy Bentham. Right? But yung buong point ng act versus rule is that kapag act utilitarianism, you don't need a certain rule kasi nga act lang siya, no? So, the greater number, it's the greater good if... Sorry, nandito. You are producing the greater good if you are producing happiness for the greater number. Hence, it's the greater good. The point is, like, kapag rule naman utilitarianism, saka lang magkakaroon ng greater good, greater number if may rule ka nga sa lipunan na sinasabi na okay lang yun. Let me give you an example. So, an example would be, okay, meron kang isa kang doktor, for example. Meron kang 5 pasyente, tapos isa lang. So, ganito yung nangyari. Yung 5 pasyente mo na yun, kailangan nila ng 5 separate organs. Yung isa kailangan niya ng heart, yung isa kailangan niya ng lungs, yung isa kailangan niya, etc. etc. So, 5 sila. Tapos ngayon, may isang tao na healthy pa siya, pero wala na siyang silbi sa lipunan. Can you sacrifice that one person to save 5 people? Pag sinasabi ng act utilitarianism, automatic yes. Why? Kasi nga, you will be saving 5 and one is eventually going to die, but at least you save 5, right? That's basically okay, according to act utilitarianism. But if it is according to rule utilitarianism, saka lang siya magiging okay if may batas kayong of may rule kayo nagsasabi na pwede lang mag-harvest ng katawan ng isang tao to save 5 people, then that's probably okay. But if that's not, there's no rule, then it's still not applicable, right? Okay, so let's wrap it up. Simple lang. Tatlo lang yung difference. Virtue ethics, deontology, and utilitarianism. Yung virtue ethics, na-develop yan ng tatlo nating mga ancient philosophers, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. And heavily relied upon Aristotle on this matter. Pag virtue ethics, kung gusto mo gumawa ng mabuti, alamin mo muna lahat ng circumstances bago ka mag-decide. That is virtue ethics. Diba? Simple. Pag deontology naman, kasi kaya nga siya deontology, deon, which comes from the term deon, which means duty. It is your duty to do good regardless of the consequences. So, kahit pa may mga mangyayaring consequences, walang pakialam ang deontology. So, you have to do it. So, for example, if you wanna hack, you can't hack, even if it would save millions, because deontology would say, no, that's still wrong. So, para sa mga deontology, si Robin Hood ay mali pa rin. Diba? And for utilitarianism, may pakialam siya sa consequences. So, isipin mo muna yung consequences. Or, better yet, yung parang mas okay na, mas may mag-sacrifice kesa naman mas marami ang hindi. So, basically, pag utilitarianism, it's a numbers game. So, meron kasi yun sa sa identification ng modified. Determine whether this is virtue ethics, utilitarianism, or deontology. Magigets yun na if napanood yun itong video. Okay, sana, I don't know how many minutes this would take. Sana may natutunan kayo, and good luck sa inyong exam tomorrow. Bye!